Access TV.
So hello and welcome along to BAMMA 11 here at the NIA in Birmingham. A very cold night in the UK, but we have some fighting to hit you up. Right, with me, as always, is a man, he's an MMA expert and a retired fighter. Hello, Pierre Gillet.
OJ, thank you for having me once again at another BAMMA show.
Well, let's talk about BAMMA 11. It's an exciting night.
Very exciting, and the thing is, the best is still to come.
It is indeed. Now let's talk about the headline fight tonight. It's one we've looked forward to. He's a fighter we've seen develop. He's gone from somebody who was raw to somebody you can now say is a proper MMA fighter.
Yes, and I believe that Marshman has shown a natural progression. He was known as a stand-up fighter. He showed us on his last bout that he's developed his jiu-jitsu game. Now the only question is, the bridge in between stand-up and the ground is your wrestling. How will that affect tonight's fight?
Well, the thing is, though, we saw him fight. He was great at the stand-up. He had wars, didn't he? Nothing could stop him. He would fight through anyone. He could be cut. He would just keep on going. Then he lost to Tom Kong Watson, and he seemed to come back in the next fight as somebody who had another dimension. The loss helped him.
Oh, without a doubt. He went back, he took some notes, and it's very hard. Some people never overcome a loss like that. However, he came back, like you said, a bigger and better fighter.
Well, let's take a look at him, because he is fighting a man. He said he wanted to step up in class. He said he wanted to step up to somebody who's international level, and he is doing that.
It's that step up that I needed in competition. You know, I've done quite well through the domestic British scene, I think. Time to step it up, fighting an international fighter. He's been there, he's been to the UFC, he's been all over the world, and I'm ready to take the step up and see if I'm at that level myself.
I know that the middleweight belt is vacant. Jack is standing in my way, and I'm here to make this belt become mine one day, so...
Tonight you're going to see a fast, aggressive Jack Marshman.
I'm not a guy that likes predictions, because what only matters to me is what happens in the cage. So, you know, my plan for this fight is win this before the limit.
My plan is, as it always is, you know, try and knock them out first round.
It is an exciting fight. He said he wanted to step up, and he is doing that, because you look at Professor X, and I will call him Professor X, as I struggle slightly with Xavier Fupa Pukum. He is a man who's fought all around the world, hasn't he? He's fought everywhere.
Yes, he's fought UFC, BAMMA, and occasionally he fights another Frenchman, myself, Pierre Gillet, and I came out with the short end of the stick on that one, so I can tell you firsthand, he bangs.
I was going to talk about the people he's beaten, because even though he's had a few losses on his record, and he's not had the best record of late, he is still beaten Martin Kampmann, Paul Daly, Matt Ewing, Alex Reed, Tom Watson, and as you said, some guy called Pierre Gillet. He is a tough fighter, he's explosive.
He's an international fighter, the pedigree speaks for itself, and even though he's had losses, it's been against guys that are at the top of the food chain.
That is something. Some people go, oh, you've got these losses. If you fight in the best, sometimes you lose.
And that's just how mixed martial arts is, and that's why it makes it so exciting.
Well, that's not the only fight we have tonight. Let's take a look at some of the other fights tonight. Here we go tonight, a British welterweight fight between Warren Key and Tom Breeze. We are very much looking forward to that one. Then it is a light heavyweight showdown. It is Kevin Thompson taking on Max Nunes. Then it is a British lightweight title fight, Ray versus Hardiman, which is the first fight we will see this evening. And we are very much excited about seeing that one. Both fighters who like to fight.
Yes, both guys always looking for the finish, and they can bang. However, it's an odd situation in that the striker wins by submissions and the submission artist wins by strikes.
Well, you see, I was looking into this. Steve Ray, all his fights haven't gone the distance. I mean, whether he wins or loses, he doesn't like to get to a decision, does he?
Not at all. And they say even in his gym when sparring, he takes that same mental attitude, unlucky for his sparring partners, into the cage with him.
And Dale Hardiman, we were talking before, I mean, he trains with someone. You were talking about his coach. His coach is a man who drills them in the gym.
Oh, without a doubt. He's an ex-bodyguard. He does a lot of personal protection, and he's old school. I take it back to the old days of shoot box. They get in there, and they go to war, friend or foe alike.
So what's it like? I mean, if you are training that hard, I mean, sometimes they say don't leave it in the training room. You can overtrain for fights. We've seen it before. You see guys coming in, you know, they look like they've had a great camp, and they've done too much. They come in, they are They are tired. They've been beaten up in the gym. Can that happen?
Oh, without a doubt, yes, it can. However, Hardiman has never shown any wear and tear in the cage, and I don't look for that to happen here tonight either.
How would you call it? I mean, I don't like to put you on the fence. I've done this before, and he tells me off afterwards, going, you can't make me do that. I'm supposed to be commentating on it. How would you call it?
Just for mental poise, as well as the patience and cagecraft, I'm going with Hardiman. That's my final answer.
Well, we're looking forward to all the fights tonight. As I said before, it's a cold day in the UK, but it doesn't matter where you are around the world. We have some absolutely amazing fights for you. So let's get to our first fight. It is Steve Ray taking on Dale Hardiman.
So, making his way to the cage, Steve Ray, the Braveheart, 22 years of age from Scotland, 11 wins and 3 losses. Now, from his fights, Pierre, only one win or lose has gone to decision. Everything else is inside the distance. 4 KOs, 6 subs on his record, and in his last 2 fights, a win by TKO and a sub. That's what we call a rounded fighter, surely.
Not only that, look at the confidence that he brings to the cage tonight. He is a man, he's poised, he looks intense, and I hope that this translates into the fight here tonight.
Yes, he looks super fit, as you said, calm and confident, and rightly so, coming off 2 big wins by decision. And as I said, in what is 14 fights, we've only ever had 1 go to the judges. So this is a man that lives by the sword or dies by the sword.
I couldn't agree with you more. One thing I would like to point out, however, the electricity, the intensity has jumped up another 10 to 20% with his walkout. I tell you what, we have a rabid crowd base here tonight, and they're ready to see the action here at BAMMA 11.
And listen to the response for his opponent, Dale Hardiman, 25 years of age, the Hurricane from the Storm Gym in Luton. My old friend Amir Sabasic, and you mentioned it, old school trainer, old school philosophy. And this young man, 9 wins, only 3 losses as well, 2 KOs, 6 subs, and BAMMA's a happy hunting ground for him. Wins at BAMMA 7 and 9.
What can I say about Dale Hardiman that he hasn't already showed in previous performances? I tell you what, this guy trains old school. He leaves it all in the cage, and I expect nothing less than that from here tonight.
Well, the thing is, Pierre, you and I both know, Amir at the Storm Gym, there's no room for excuses. You either win or you lose. He doesn't accept, oh, it was this, oh, it was that. He puts his guys in at the toughest levels time and time again.
And you hit it right on the head. You can't come to his gym without training hard. That's just not acceptable. And all of their fighters have winning records. So somewhere in that mix or that equation, he's doing it right.
Yes, Hardiman as well enters the cage, and these 2 warriors are ready. We look at the tail of the tape, not much in it really, height-wise, age-wise, record-wise. These 2 men are at the top of their game. This should be a great fight.
Ladies and gentlemen watching around the world, welcome to the National Indoor Arena in Birmingham, England. The British Association of Mixed Martial Arts proudly brings you BAMMA 11, presented by GoDaddy.com. The following bout is scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds for the BAMMA Lonsdale British Lightweight Championship. Introducing first, the man standing to my right and fighting out the red corner. He stands 5 feet 10 inches tall and weighing in at an even 155 pounds. He is a mixed martial artist with a record of 11 victories, opposite 3 defeats, fighting out of Glasgow, Scotland, Stevie Ray. my left and bites down the blue corner. He stands 5 feet 11 inches tall. His official weight, uneven 154 pounds. He is a mixed martial arts with a record of 9 victories opposite 3 defeats, fighting out of Luton, England. Dale the Hurricane Hardiman. Your referee to give the instructions, Neil Hall.
So Pierre, as you said, the atmosphere has really gone up a level here. Huge support for Dale Hardiman, the Hurricane, and at stake the BAMMA lightweight title, and surely 2 worthy competitors when you look at their records.
Oh yeah, so the stakes have just gotten higher as soon as you put hardware on the line.
And first off, a high right roundhouse from Hardiman doesn't find the target.
Ooh.
And a left-hand attempt from Stevie Ray, and they clinch up immediately.
Good leg trip there by by Stevie Ray. Now, Dale Hardiman, he's very poised, like I said before. He's got a lot of patience. He's been in this situation before, nothing that he hasn't seen in his training up to this point.
And again, when it hits the ground, you look at their records, both men have 6 submission wins. They're both very comfortable there on the canvas.
But at the same time, you have to be just that little bit more careful so you don't get caught in a bad position. Both feet in the hip for Hardiman. Ray putting the top side pressure. Ray was trying to swing out the leg to possibly trap the right leg of Hardiman going into a potential half butterfly. He's using the head, pressing up against Hardiman's chin.
But Hardiman has that leg onto the thigh there of Stevie Ray.
Ray stacking his opponent, looking to possibly throw some punches down. Hardiman looking for a sweep. He has to be careful, because with that sweep, he could go straight into a leg lock. However, Hardiman hunting for a leg lock of his own. Possible heel hook here. Hardiman turns and rolls. He needs to keep rolling, take that pressure off that heel hook. And you see him wincing in pain.
I was going to say, Pierre, he's grimacing. That was quite tight. Dangerous moments here for Hardiman.
Now the problem is, if Hardiman keeps on rolling, sooner or later he's going to hit the cage, and he needs to go in that direction to release the pressure. And that looks sunk in very deep. Awkward angle at the knee there by Hardiman. And I tell you what, Stevie Ray is really putting a lot of pressure on Hardiman with that heel hook.
And it really would silence the crowd if that had worked this early in the fight with the BAMMA lightweight title at stake.
Now the pressure was on, as you can tell. Now look at this here. Immediately Stevie Ray goes into a better position. Hardiman looking to hike the legs up. Possible arm bar, triangle attempt here.
Yes, so far it's been all Steve Ray. He's taken the fight to Dale Hardiman.
Now, has he shown his cards too early, though? He went immediately for the takedown. Now, will Hardiman be more aware of this takedown, looking to sprawl or looking to get on his bicycle, get out of range?
Yes, Hardiman still looks composed. He still looks cool. As you said, he's been here before. He's been pressurized. And you can hear the crowd's response trying to inspire their man. Huge support for Hardiman here. But at the moment, you've got to say it's all Stevie Ray.
Now, Hardiman had his legs crisscrossed, allowing Stevie Ray to pass. However, immediately he goes back into a half guard position, open half. Ray is applying the shoulder pressure from that topside position. Looking to pass. He needs to clear that leg, get into that side mount position. That could be a game changer for Stevie Ray. However, Hardiman using his legs very effectively, barring him from getting out to that side position.
Now, I know pre-fight that you were asked for a prediction, and you did feel in favor slightly of Dale Hardiman, but you must say it's been very good sustained pressure from Steve Ray in this opening round.
I have him edging it out a little bit ahead with the heel hook, as well as the the takedown. However, Hardiman goes, and just as I say that, he goes for a sweep, and it ends up with him in. He's fighting for that mount position, looking to pass the leg now. He is swept. This is back and forth action here in the first round.
Well, as you'd expect with two men well versed in the submission arts.
Now it looks like he's possibly locked in that triangle. A step over, escape there by Stevie Ray. However, now it's a top side triangle. He switches over to armbar.
He's still got time as well, Pierre. There is time in the round, but it looks like he's popped out Steve Ray. The last minute of the round, everything happening on the ground here.
Last 30 seconds, and it's been a back and forth battle here on the floor. However, bad position there for Hardiman. He's in that crucifix position. He needs to catch that cradle, get the hips close to his hips, buck one way, roll the other.
Because we can see some nasty ground and pound from, as we're just seeing here, from that crucifix position. The downward forearms and elbows. It's a cutting technique. We're into the last 10. He should get through it, but a big finish in this round for Stevie Ray.
Stevie Ray impressive here in the first round, and I believe he just walked away with it with that crucifix position.
So, Pierre, at the end of the first round, and let's face it, it's the BAMMA British lightweight title at stake, and you've got to say, it's been all Stevie Ray.
Now looking at the replay, both men standing, inside leg kick. However, Stevie Ray closes the distance, looking for a double leg, hits the inside leg trip, and down comes Hardiman. And we have to say that Stevie Ray kept that top position, and this was dangerous times here for Dale Hardiman. The heel hook and the grimace on the face, he had to roll to relieve that pressure. It was a lot closer than you would believe here in that first round.
And then later in the round, it was Hardiman that almost had the armbar.
Yes, and it was a back and forth battle. And guys, I am super excited, as is the crowd here at BAMMA.
Now at the end of that first round, symbolically, Stevie Ray punched the air with both hands. And they say one way to silence the crowd is to get the ascendancy. Was that, do you think, a little bit of kidology by Ray there?
Definitely, and you know what? Again, it's a title fight. You have to do anything and everything. I'm always saying, let's do the small things to make the big things happen. And let's leave an impression on the judges. And a fist pump is definitely one way to do it.
So now they're upright once more. There wasn't much upright in the first round. They went to ground quickly and stayed there. It was lots of action, but it was all ground-based. Oh, but a big left hook from Hardiman. And you could hear the crowd's response, Pierre.
Nice sprawl, heavy hips down to the floor. Looking for maybe a 10-finger choke here. I can't see from this vantage point. Oh, nice control off the takedown from the knees by Stevie Ray. This young man is impressing me very much, just as well. Hardiman is still in it to win it, and however, he finds his back on the mat here in the second round.
And he finds it on the mat after a sweet left hook that set him up initially, but Ray is back in the attack mode.
Now, you think he may have rushed that a little bit too much?
I think Hardiman did see the daylight when he caught him with the left hook, and I think he's being punished for it now. Dangerous times for him again. And Steve Ray, the transitions, Pierre, they're sweet.
Yep, he was in that front headlock position, transition to the back, has one hook in. Hardiman has a 2-on-1 with the hands. I can't see from this vantage point. Okay, Stevie Ray just biding his time. Again, he has one hook in. Look for him to settle in the other hook. And again, it slides in beautifully there. Hardiman's gonna have to peel off the hooks. And if he gets flattened out, that's a lot more pressure from the back. However, he's a veteran and immediately goes to the side where there's less pressure.
Yes, but testing times for him again. Steve Ray, very impressive in these opening 2 rounds. And he's taken his opportunities well as well, Pierre. I mean, as we said, this came from adversity from him. It came from a left hook that not only did he take well, but he recovered very quickly and started the offensive again.
Yeah, he recuperated a lot faster than I think Hardiman anticipated, because immediately he went in for the kill. And I don't know if Stevie Ray was playing possum, but it resulted with Hardiman on his back. Once again, Stevie Ray in that mount position.
And got what he wanted, the back again. Dangerous times once more for Dale Hardiman.
Now, I'm seeing a trend in the back mount. A lot of times, used to before, when you catch that back mount, you would immediately roll onto your own back. However, a lot of fighters are opting to stay on that topside position when you have that back mount, just because there's less room to escape. Not only that, you can put a lot more pressure when you Superman your opponent out. He's carrying the full weight as you're hunting for that submission.
That's right, so we're inside the final 2 minutes of round 2. And whether it's been upright or on the ground, it's been riveting, Pierre. And 2 men at the top of their game and worthy of this British lightweight title.
Both men deserve to be in the cage fighting for this honor. But again, Stevie Ray looking impressive, and he's the one that's been forcing the issue here on the ground, taking the back of Hardiman multiple times as well as multiple takedowns.
Hardiman turns there, and the pressure's relieved slightly. But I think he'll be shocked by these opening 2 rounds and how much Steve Ray has made him work.
Hardiman going for that elbow escape. However, Stevie Ray from that top position, grapevine sprawling him out, flattening him out. Stevie Ray crawling up into that dominant position, full mount, high knees. Looking to throw strikes, elbows down through the middle.
Nice head movement there from Hardiman to make that difficult for Steve Ray. It may look good from the bleachers at the back, but up close, Hardiman took nothing there.
Now, Stevie Ray has to be careful when he's throwing down the punches from that full mount. Hardiman puts both arms together, elbows up. You don't want to break your hand. What I would suggest to do, pin the elbows to one side, strike to the clear side of the face, or hack him down with the elbows.
That's what Ray tried there, but Hardiman's got a good defense of that face so far. But with 30 seconds to go, if we think the first round was close, but possibly Ray, the second round is more in favor of Ray quite clearly.
Yeah, I think he did enough to edge the first round, and in the second round, he's just walking away with it.
Yeah, so going into round 3 very shortly, we have Steve Ray, the Braveheart from Scotland, probably 2 rounds to the good. And a dominant performance against a very, very strong, well-rated fighter as well. So, Pierre, your pre-fight prediction, possibly a win for Hardiman. It's certainly not going that way at the moment.
Well, and you'll see why here with the replays. Stevie Ray paying no attention to my prediction, obviously, as he comes out. Left hook wobbles him, and Hardiman immediately following up. But other IDs by Stevie Ray, he shoots in. Now, it was a good sprawl there by Hardiman. However, he needed to get out of that, get off the front line. He needed to circle out. Good shoulder and leg takedown there by Stevie Ray. Stevie Ray pops the head out, and this is where he just absolutely took over with the top side, just ground and pound, taking the back multiple times. Great round for Stevie Ray.
The other thing that replay showed clearly was how quickly he recovered from that left hand. His eyes were focused and sharp again, and that was a solid shot, Pierre.
It just shows that he deserves to be in there. He's a veteran. He didn't crumble during adversity. He stepped up, and again, walking away with that last round.
And again goes for the sprawl, and why not? He has had real success on the ground, so his confidence must be growing, and again, didn't waste time in standing up with Hardiman this time.
Hardiman opted to strike. He got timed by Stevie Ray. Stevie Ray dumped him, looking again for a possible trying to go into crucifix, pinning that elbow down, but opts for a side mount instead. He has the arm trapped. I mean, I can't fault him for anything that he's doing here tonight, Malcolm.
On the reverse of the coin, what has Hardiman got to do to get back into this fight? We're talking about a top-class opponent here who's at the moment being owned by Steve Ray.
Well, on the stand-up, I think he needs to keep it stand-up. However, Hardiman is not using the footwork to stay out of range and out of the front line of Stevie Ray.
He slipped out of the back door there, though, Pierre.
Now, however, Stevie Ray backs out.
But the success-starved fans of Dale Hardiman loved that escape and cheered him on once more. Incredible atmosphere for Hardiman here.
Well, Stevie Ray is just waiting to time that next shot. Hardiman needs to work the angles, get on his bicycle, set up the shots.
His chin was just clipped there, and then the takedown again from Ray.
What I love about Ray's takedowns, He goes in for the kill on the takedown, and he doesn't just rest. He goes immediately to pass the legs, and he's always trying to get into that side mount position or another dominant position.
But every time they do this, the fight slips a little bit more away from Dale Hardiman.
Yeah, and he's down 2 rounds. So he's going to have a sense of urgency. He needs to get back up to his feet, whether it be pushing his back up against the cage crawling up to his feet, circling out, but he needs to make something happen.
Now, for the first time in the fight, the referee wants to see more from Steve Ray while he's on the ground there. He hasn't had that problem previously.
Well, Steve Ray has had a high output, a high work rate, and it's only understandable that he may be getting a little tired.
And don't forget, another thing in the equation, only one of his fights has ever gone the full distance.
So he's going to be tested here for the lightweight BAMMA British title. And if you look at the head, the forearms, he's constantly grinding Hardiman in that bottom position. He's getting him thinking about that while he tries to pop up onto his toes, swing the knee out, getting into that side mount position. He's always doing something to try to take off. It's like a chess match. He moves a pawn in order to take your king with another piece.
Yes, and the little body shots to soften Hardiman up. They won't be hurtful, but again, giving him something else to think about. As if he hasn't had enough to think about tonight already, as we're inside the final 2 minutes of round 3.
And even if he doesn't knock Hardiman out, he's still racking up the points.
Now we're at a stage where Hardiman needs something big in this round, or 3 rounds will have just evaded him.
And a testament to Stevie Ray, this is the first time or even stand-up that I've seen Dale Hardiman tested to this extent. In past performances, he's been really dominant on both the stand-up as well as the ground game, hence his contention for the title.
That's right, a BAMMA veteran of BAMMA 7 and BAMMA 9. This is his stomping ground, but Stevie Ray has really come to take this title.
If you don't know the name Stevie Ray after tonight, you will definitely remember it after a performance like that. Now, is the ref calling a stand-up?
And Steve Ray still looks strong, no sign of gassing yet. His fights don't go the distance, but his cardio still looks good.
Another takedown attempt, defended, knee up through the middle, right uppercut, just missing.
Glimpses of what we expect, though, from Hardiman. The knee, the short right hand. Oh, and a big right hand, Pierre, but Ray takes it like it didn't land.
But his MO, take a shot, shoot up and underneath, and resulting in the takedown.
That right hand was better than the left hook earlier, and Ray just soaked it up. Right, so this is on a knife edge. We'll be back straight after this break. Right, welcome back, and it's time for our MC Mike Markham to give us the result now of this BAMMA British lightweight title.
Ladies and gentlemen, we go to the judges' scorecards for the final decision. All 3 judges score this bout 30-27 in favor of your winner by unanimous decision. And first, BAMMA Lonsdale British lightweight champion, Stevie Braveheart Ray.
Pierre, no surprise there. A dominant performance by Steve Ray, made even more impressive by the fact that Dale Hardiman is such a tough fighter.
And my hat's off to Steve Ray, well deserved. And this is the type of action, huge slam, that led to him with the hardware around his waist. Very good pressure all the way through the fight. Whenever he was at top position, always dominant, always grinding. Just, wow. This is a name that I'm definitely going to remember, and that's Stevie Ray.
And to be fair to Dale Hardiman, we saw moments like the big left hook, the straight right hand, but he wasn't allowed. There's the big right hand, but look how Ray soaked it up. He wasn't allowed into the fight anymore. It's not about a bad performance from Hardiman. It's about an almost picture-perfect performance from Ray.
Definitely. Stevie Ray was a man on a mission.
Well, I am in the cage right now with Stevie, who will be heading back up to Scotland with the bling round your waist. You must have been quite sure at the end of that fight you won that.
Yeah, I knew I had it by the end, the points. Dale hits hard, caught me a few times, but I knew I had done enough to get the belt.
I mean, from your back, you seem to have the whole fight in control the whole time.
Yeah, well, I knew I would, I thought I would be stronger than Dale, so I felt really strong this camp. Yeah, and I controlled the fight, so.
Did the moustache that he was wearing worry you at all?
No, it just, if anything, it gave me more motivation just to punch it off his face.
Well, listen, congratulations. You go back. You are now the Lonsdale British BAMMA lightweight champion. How does that make you feel?
Makes me feel great. This is my first fight on BAMMA. So I just feel like a king right now. I'm going to go out, wear it all night, probably wear it to my bed.
Well, that's what we suggest to do. Put your hands together for the winner. Fantastic new champion here at BAMMA. Put your hands together for Stevie Ray! Coming up after the break, we will have more fights for you here at BAMMA 11. So we have a new BAMMA lightweight champion. Very exciting. Congratulations to Stevie Ray. Next up here at BAMMA